I'm Judy Shaw on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange along with Matt Kobach. Joining us today is Lawrence Epstein. Lawrence is the COO at the UFC. Welcome, Lawrence.
Thanks for having me.
So, you have some big news. You have a new rights deal with ESPN. Tell us about that.
Huge deal, 5 years with ESPN, $1.5 billion, which is a great number for us. In addition to that, we're really taking this thing to the next level. We've had a great 7-year relationship with Fox, but now to be partners with the worldwide leader in sports, ESPN, plus the Walt Disney Company, very exciting for us, and it's really going to take us to the next level.
This is an amazing partnership. We were talking a little off camera about it before. I want to know, what does ESPN do to enhance Ultimate Fighting?
It does three things. Number one, just increased exposure. So we're going to have about 3.5 times the audience on ESPN that we have on Fox. So just a broader exposure, number one. Number two, ESPN has the best digital ecosystem in all of sports. So we're going to be integrated into that, and that's a key way people get their sports information and decide, what they're going to spend their time watching. I think the third thing, which people aren't really talking about, is that ESPN is also going to become a seller of our pay-per-view. So people are going to be able to go on the ESPN app, they're going to be able to watch our events on ESPN Plus, and then for a pay-per-view event, one click away from buying that in the ESPN digital ecosystem. So there's so many great things that are going on with this new relationship.
And so you guys are getting rid of the friction a little bit.
We're trying to.
Love it.
We're trying to. Listen, we've still got to develop and present really compelling products and really compelling fights every time, but yeah, absolutely, that's part of the game.
So, UFC is not just a national sport, it's an international sport. Tell us about your international presence.
Well, it's one thing that's exciting about the UFC business is that it's not just a UFC, a USA type of a business. Love the NFL, but it's really a North American sport. We're on TV in 160 countries and territories, reaching about 1.2 billion homes. We're broadcast in 45, I always get it wrong because it's always changing, but call it 45 languages around the world. So this is truly a global sport. We do about half of our events outside of the United States. So it's really exciting to have a sport that is really broadcast and available everywhere on the planet.
Is there one country where you see there's much more engagement than others?
U.S. is, of course, our biggest market still, but Brazil is a huge market for us. Canada is an amazing market. The U.K., China is really, a market that is growing rapidly. Went from a top 25 market to a top 5 market and is growing very rapidly. So we've got a lot of exciting things on the international horizon.
All right, speaking of exciting things, you're here today because you got a match coming up this weekend.
Absolutely.
Tell us about it. Where is it at? How do we watch it? Who is it? All that stuff.
Barclays Center here in Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
It's our 125-pound title. TJ Dillashaw and Henry Cejudo, two champions fighting each other, which is very exciting. And it's going to be available on ESPN Plus, which is also something that is very important to us and, of course, our partners at ESPN. It's their new OTT streaming service, which is really headlined by UFC content.
So if you're watching this and you're a fan, ESPN Plus, if there was a time to get it, now is the time to get it.
Now. Get it right now.
Just even stop watching this and go download it right now.
So, Lawrence, what's next for UFC?
What's next for UFC is, of course, making sure this ESPN relationship gets off on the right foot. This is our first event. You only get one chance to make a first impression, as they say. So we're going to make sure we execute on this and get off to the right start with this huge 5-year relationship. Beyond that, international expansion is important to us. I mentioned China being a growing market for us. We're going to open probably in the next 7 or 8 months a new performance institute in Shanghai, China, which we think is going to revolutionize and grow the UFC brand and sport in China. So that's something that's really groundbreaking that we're working on right now.
Yeah, very exciting.
Well, we're excited to watch. We're happy you could be here today. We look forward to the fight this week.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.